Hey guys, one thing I didn't go over with you for those of you a little more curious about testing more in depth, and especially for those of you that don't have scopes available to you, I didn't talk about in class that most multimeters do have a frequency capability, and they'll usually show up as hertz, hertz being frequency, or the Hz here. Okay, so we can see I'll set it to hertz here. And this is one way we could actually measure speed sensors pretty effectively with a voltmeter, especially if we don't have a scope. It's another layer deep that we can go for testing. So just before I go into that, I'm going to set it just on voltage here. So we can see this is a Hall effect sensor that we're looking at. And we can see what I spoke about in class, which is 5 volts kind of on and off. If we're going incredibly slow, we can actually see this 5 volts. So we'll pick up on a full 5 volts. As it speeds up though, a voltmeter through this whole range is only going to read about half of what the signal is. So it's not really going to effectively be able to read most of the voltage that the ECU is actually seeing. So even though the ECU is seeing a difference in frequency here, we can't read it on a voltmeter, and that's why I recommended a scope for this. But one other thing we can do, if you don't have a scope, just to go a little bit deeper with the multimeter, is we can actually check the frequency. So if your multimeter has the capability to check frequency, all the hookups are the same. I'm just on ground here and the signal return. So on this one, which is the center pin, okay, but I'm just on the signal return wire, whichever that is for your system. And we'll see here, if you monitor the frequency over here on your multimeter, as we speed up, we should see a directly related increase in the frequency, which is how many basically square waves per period of time. Okay, so this will give us a fairly accurate indication of whether we're getting a good reading proportionate to speed out of a Hall effect or a digital sensor. It'll also work for our ABS sensors to measure frequency as well. So this is one that I left out as a kind of a cheaper multimeter only type trick. You may or may not know what you should be reading, but you'll be able to see, just like we test potentiometers and other things, you can actually check through a range of speeds a little more accurately here, where we couldn't do that with voltage only. Okay.